Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you'll be listening to a hypnosis session created for a client preparing for a rigorous 3-hour job interview. And they knew it was going to be structured in a way where there was going to be 3 different sections to that. So being asked by different members of a team, a more formal interview, and also sharing their vision or their key points and some kind of a wrap-up. And they really wanted to feel calm and confident and relaxed, knowledgeable and credible, but at the same time friendly in this interview. And also manage their own expectations that although they wanted this, they didn't want to feel desperate because that would put them into more of a needy state. So there's a few things going on here, and it really utilizes a protocol known as the Circle of Excellence. So I encourage the client to think of a time when they had these kind of resources, where they felt like a leader, they felt confident, they felt mission-driven, and they felt calm and confident, associating into that feeling and seeing this glowing circle that is turned into like a beam, like this cylinder of light, and then future pacing that into the very context that they would be in just a few days' time, alongside NLP anchoring techniques of tapping into the resource states by squeezing a ring that they would always have access to on their fingers, but also every time they sipped water, that would feel like it's giving them the very resources they needed in that moment. I think a lot of people that feel anxious about interviews treat it like a high-stakes environment. They treat it like it's a win or lose, and they could feel really rejected or disappointed. I think a more useful way of looking at an interview is this synergistic element where it could be the right fit, but not necessarily. And if it doesn't go the way that they would want it to, then there's a good reason for that. And maybe even they've dodged a bullet by not being a square peg in a round hole. So there's a bit of expectation management. It's turning it into a low stakes environment rather than a high stakes that can increase anxiety, and is designed to trigger the very best version of them, to put their best side forward. And that said, it was created for an individual. So if you are preparing for, let's say, some kind of big presentation or maybe an interview, and you want to feel calm and confident for that, there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule a free consultation call to explore working with me, and we can discuss that on the call. For now, though, find a quiet, confident place where you can feel relaxed and not likely to be interrupted, and just enjoy yourself and relax. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, just feel a wonderful sense of release, particularly in the tiny muscles around your eyelids, around your eyebrows. Feeling like you're releasing tension in that outward breath. As you breathe in deeper than the previous breath. But imagine breathing in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation, scanning your body for any clues of tension, and allowing that tension to start to melt away as you feel it leave your body in that outward breath. And the deeper you breathe, the more resourceful you feel, and the more of any tension, stress, or worries start to melt away. Feel it leave your body as you breathe out, as you imagine the process of just breathing in and breathing out, an emotional transfusion. Breathing in the resources you need most, and exhaling any thoughts, emotions, any sensations that are disempowering or unuseful in some way. Just feel them leave your body. And the more relaxed you feel, the deeper you breathe, and the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you feel. As you can imagine drifting off into a state of ever increasing relaxation. Eyelids feeling heavier, jaw loosening. As you imagine sinking deeper and deeper down, where your arms feel limp and loose, your legs feel so relaxed. Imagine any remaining tension like an ice cube on a sunny day. Just imagine that ice cube melting away as you feel any remaining feelings of tension also melt away. That's it. Feeling more and more relaxed. With each breath, you feel more centered, more at ease, allowing your body to loosen, allowing your mind to become more and more calm, until you arrive in a place of quiet confidence, feeling safe, supported, and open to the infinite potential within you. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to remember a time of peak resourcefulness. Maybe you can remember a time when you were confident, assertive, a time when you projected credibility and knowledge, but at the same time came across as personable. And when you can recall a time like that, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to imagine drifting off to that moment, watching you like you're in the room or in the vicinity, seeing you with all of those resources. And I want you to see that version of you, see how you're breathing, see your facial expressions, your posture. Think of the assessments you're making of you in that moment. Maybe assessments, evaluations of competency, authenticity. And I want you to notice beneath your feet something that wasn't there, but now imagine it to be there. Imagine a glowing circle. A glowing circle perhaps of gold or glittering light. And I want you to imagine it starts there beneath your feet and then projects upwards like a cylinder, a beam of shining, resourceful light. Wherever you go and wherever you move, you are now walking with this circle like a spotlight going wherever you go. And you are in the center of this cylindrical beam of resourceful light. And I also want you to notice, even though it was all the way back then, see yourself wearing a particular ring that you didn't have at the time, but you now do. And as you see that version of you, see yourself every now and then squeezing the ring with a finger and a thumb on either side of the ring. And each time you do, notice a particular expression, an expression that communicates deep trust of your own intuition. And I wonder if you could imagine getting closer to that version of you, almost feeling an aura, feeling the energy, seeing that version of you looking so resourceful, with all of the resources that would be so useful for an event in the future, such as an interview, and then step into that version of you. So now feel how you would feel with that level of resourcefulness as you see the circle surrounding you, and you feel the energy rising up. You start to associate this feeling of credibility, confidence, but also a nurturing, visionary feel. Feel that you are capable of taking on a big mission. Notice how you're breathing, how relaxed you feel, your posture. And when you feel this incredible, intuitive, resourceful feeling, imagine squeezing that ring with your finger and thumb, and then do it in reality. You're imagine being in that moment, but now squeeze that finger and thumb around the ring. And as you feel the pressure, start to link it together. Feel that intuitive, resourceful feeling. Notice where this feeling of utter confidence exists within you. Maybe your chest, your solar plexus, or somewhere in your head. Get a sense of where it is and then expand it, make it even more intense. As you hold on to that feeling, I want you to imagine seeing yourself waking up on the morning of a day of an interview. I want you to see as you get ready, there is a calmness, a relaxed flow to you. I want you to see yourself as someone that takes everything in your stride. See yourself leaving your home and making your way to the location of the interview. And I want you to get a sense that you're observing that version of you, perhaps perhaps arrive at an office, and I want you to see yourself perhaps going into a room. And as you see yourself going into the room, I want you to imagine seeing that glowing circle of light under the very chair that you'd be sitting at. And at the moment you sit down on that seat, feel a wonderful feeling of this glowing light rising upwards. As you observe that version of you, see yourself looking instantly authoritative, confident, and calm. And then step into that version of you. Imagine how you would feel being surrounded by people, perhaps asking questions or you interacting with, and feel that you can take all of this in your stride. But if you need to activate even more resources, all you need to do is take a sip of water or squeeze that ring, and it will activate whatever resources you need most in that moment. And then imagine that same version of you in a different situation, where you are the one asking questions. See yourself that when you ask that very first question, that glowing light, that cylinder of light from your feet all the way upwards becomes activated the moment you ask your very first question, activating a feeling of knowledge, understanding, credibility. And then step into that version of you, rewind it. Imagine seeing perhaps the people in front, and just as you're about to ask that first question, feel the energy of light coming from your feet upwards surrounding you, that you are bathed in this resourceful light. And while you're having those interactions and questions and responses, feel that whenever you squeeze your ring, you are reactivating you at your very best. Whenever you take a sip of water, feel that the sip itself activates whatever resources are latent and need to be activated in that moment. I want you to get a sense that you feel that whatever happens, you're fine with it. If it goes well, it gives you an option without an obligation. If it leads to an offer, you can consider it. But equally, if it doesn't, no big deal. I want you to get a sense that there is no feelings of desperation or urgency. You can want it without needing it. You can desire it without being disappointed if it doesn't come to pass. I want you to get a sense that the interview is about to be wrapped up, and the ball is now in your court. And at the point where you're summarizing, when you're wrapping things up, feel a surge of energy, of enthusiasm, a dynamic, powerful energy, where you project a sense of certainty, a conviction. You are projecting a belief that you have the capabilities to do the very role that they are looking for. It comes across in your tonality, your posture. A calm, nurturing, confident version of you is projected into the minds of anyone in front of you. And you're left with the feeling that if you are what they are looking for, the job will be inevitable. And if you are not what they're looking for, then you've avoided being a square peg in a round hole. Whatever happens, it happens for the best. And you will make the best of whatever options and decisions come your way. I want you to squeeze that ring one more time, feeling confident, feeling calm, feeling relaxed, and feeling like you can trust your intuition to give you the words you need when you need them. As you imagine leaving that building, imagine smiling. Smiling because you presented the version of you wanted to, and in doing so, you can release any expectations or obligations. You've done your part. It's now time for them to do theirs. I want you to imagine returning to either home or work, feeling a sense of peace, calmness, and optimism that everything will work out for the best. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel that you are priming your mind to activate you at your very best, exactly when you need it. And now it's time to return to the present. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connect fully into the here and now, as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.